Okay, so I just wanted to go over real quick what our discipline procedure for the week is going to be. It's very similar to from preschool to elementary, but I'm going to divide those. So preschool will mean fours and under, pre-K and under, and elementary for discipline will mean kindergarten through fifth grade. So the first thing I would suggest that you do is ask the kid, set your expectations. Set your expectations with the class of this is how we're going to do things and this is what we're going to do. And just set that clear guidelines. Keep it brief, keep it short. Maybe we're going to be respectful. We're not going to talk when other people are talking. Something that our church kids are used to is give me 5. And they have to have done 5 things. They're sitting on their bottom if they're on the ground, or they're sitting with their feet pointed towards the floor in a chair. Their ears are listening. Their eyes are looking towards the adult. Their mouth is shut, and all of their body parts are to themselves. So they're not touching anybody with their hands, their feet, their creative, their elbows, whatever. So if you say, give me 5 and raise your hand, we may set that just as the general baseline for VBS. Actually, let's just plan to do that. And then let's say you're teaching the lesson and somebody's just acting totally out of control. And by totally out of control, maybe they're talking to a neighbor, they just can't stay seated, they're doing things. You just kind of want to try to redirect them. And so it's great if you can remind the whole class if it's multiple kids, or just your presence can help a lot too. So if you just come up and maybe gently lay a hand on a kid's shoulder, or you're just standing near them, sometimes that'll help them get back on task. Then giving a warning to the child. Hey, Johnny, this is what we're doing as a class. I need you to remember that we show respect to others, or we show respect to property, or whatever we need to do there. And then if he's still not listening, or she is still not listening, you can take them into the hall and speak with them. If they still are not listening, you're welcome. They're just continually being a disruption. Please come and get me, and I'll have a conversation with them. And so our goal is going to be more of, that's going to be our standard everywhere. So in rec, they're going to have the same rules as crafts, as Bible. And so that's going to be our standard for elementary. For preschool, we will add the timeout option of like, you need to sit out for a minute, redirecting, those kinds of things. If it is not just, hey, they're talking out of turn, or hey, they're making weird sounds, or oh, they won't sit still. If it's something where they could cause harm to other kids in the class, or they're like eruptive in their behavior, please come and get me or another admin team member right away. With the preschool, we want to just help guide them and remind them, And as you all know, who are working with preschool, sometimes there's more of that, and it's not just like, oh, well, we went through all the marks and we got to go get Hannah. Use your judgment. But I just really want us to have that same standard of that's what we're going to do. Outside of that, for both preschool and elementary, we're not going to, please touch base with me if you want to use other discipline measures, because we really just want this to just be our standard, and for the kids to feel loved and safe, and like they want to be here, and that we want them to be here, not that we're militant. And so that's discipline. The second thing I just feel the need to share with so many new volunteers, and it's just something that I feel like needs to be said, is talking about appropriate touch. With kindergarten through fifth grade, there's never a time that they should sit in your lap. We shouldn't pick them up. We shouldn't put them on our shoulders. We shouldn't walk up to a kid and expect them to like hug us, to initiate a hug. We don't know where these kids have come from and what they're going through, or their baggage. We don't know. But we do know that Jesus loves them and wants to save them. So we want this to be a safe place. And so we are just you can give hugs. Hugs are fine. High fives are awesome. Letting a kid hold your hand walking out somewhere, we're not going to say you can't do those things. A pat on the back, a tap on the shoulder, those are all great ways to interact with kids and show love, but and that we care about them. But we are not, our kids we don't know, we're not going to be picking them up or having them in our laps, or up on our shoulders, or any of that. That's just going to be a standard. So please, and just let kids hug you, not you hug them. And then the second thing is with preschool, they can crawl up in your lap. They need that kind of care, like when you're reading a book with them on the floor or doing an activity or whatever, and you've got to pick them up sometimes to, there's just various reasons where you'd need to. So just use your judgment on that. And so I just need to state that we just need to have that as a standard, that we are not coming across as being forward and pushy towards kids, especially when it comes to physical touch. I just think that's a good boundary that we should just have in children's ministry. And so as they want to show love, those are just some appropriate ways. And if you have more questions about that or want clarification of why I think the things I do, I have a reason behind those statements, and you're welcome to come to me both on the discipline and on the appropriate touch side of things. So it's going to be a great week, and I'm so thankful for each of you and you giving your time to be a part of this Vacation Bible School. And I am prayerful that God is going to do something awesome in the lives of these kids and these families and our community as a whole. And so thank you so much. And once again, see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. in the Worship Center, and we'll kick the day off.